first time I saw her, it was love at first sight. Her long raven hair flowed down to her waist. Her wide blue eyes stared off into the distance. Her bloodless pale skin was wrapped tight around her curvy, slender body. Her lips were as red as the fresh blood that slowly slid from the numerous cuts that covered her body. Nobody seemed surprised when I froze in shock. The scene before me was rather gruesome. Several people had already run to the nearby bushes to empty their stomachs. It had been her beauty that stilled my feet, however. When I was finally able to snap back to reality, I eagerly did my job. My heart skipped a beat when I checked her for a pulse, even though I know there wouldn't be one. Her silky soft skin still had some warmth left in it. I gently moved her body from the wreckage. Even the glistening bones that sliced through her flesh took my breath away. I wanted to be alone with her, but there had been no survivors, so nobody rushed. When the time finally came to leave, I rode with her to the hospital. My heart seemed to break and fall away when I handed her over at the morgue. But as I walked away, I silently promised her we would be together once more. I tried to find a way to whisk her away from the morgue, but was unsuccessful. I never had a free moment with her at the funeral home either. But the night after she was buried, I was at her grave, rescuing her from the cold, dark ground. It took me half the night to dig her up, then refill the hole so nobody would suspect her absence. I carefully laid her in the back of my car and covered her with a soft blanket. I didn't want anyone to peer through the car windows and see her while I was driving. My heart soared with joy as we pulled into my garage. My body tingled with anticipation as I carried her up to the master bathroom. I slowly removed her clothes and ran a hot bath for her. I washed the dirt from her skin and rinsed out her hair. As I dried her off, I inhaled the smell of her rose petal scented hair and licked along her shoulder that smell of white lilies. I had gotten the shampoo and body soap just for her, gifts to welcome her to her new home. I swept her off her feet and carried her to the master bedroom. The bath had begun to warm her up, and after I covered her with heated oil, she felt almost alive. It had been a closed casket funeral due to how damaged her body had been, but I found her beautiful. I soon came to learn which of the gashes in her body were my favorite to explore. I filled her with myself over and over again as she filled me with burning satisfaction. I soon fell asleep on top of her, holding her through the night. In the morning, I heated her up once more. Eventually, the smell of her rotting flesh became more than her shampoo and soap could hide. I didn't really mind it, though. I found it intoxicating. The taste of her rotting tongue and the feel of her cold body as it filled me with warmth was exhilarating. She was perfection in every way. as was her twin sister. Drug overdoses are surprisingly easy to set up. It was decided that the death of my lover was too much for her sister to handle, and her depression led to an accidental suicide. I attended her funeral, and that night I brought her home. I took my time as I prepared the world's most beautiful women for the reunion. I carefully bathed my lover, running my hands slowly along her rotting body. As I laid her on the bed, the room filled with the scent of decaying roses and lilies. For her sister I chose honeysuckle shampoo and jasmine body soap. I trembled as I bathed her for the first time, and my hands explored every inch of her body. I laid her next to her sister and held my breath as I gazed upon my twin goddesses. They were breathtaking. When I could wait no longer, I joined them in bed. Our first night together was everything I hoped it would be. Pure ecstasy. Love truly can make you do crazy things, especially when it's love at first sight.